Everyone. So today I'll be, discussing a few examples which I came across, uh, while just studying system design. So basically, today's video is not DAC or problem solving. It's about system design. To be honest, I'm very new in system design, so I'll not be directly going and giving you uh, taking questions like design a system or something. So uh, today video is going to be just about examples which I came across and I felt it. Ki these ideas, if you have, then it becomes a little simpler to think about how load balancer would look like or how does it work. Okay, so I'll be taking a few examples like whatever comes in my head. So it's nothing like a pre-planned video or something. Whatever comes, I'll just speak it out. Okay. So okay. So let me just tell you the very first example of load balancer. Okay. So before that, so okay, I'll do some drawing. Actually, I had drawn a few examples, but I think that got erased. No problem. So let me just make few clients. Okay. And then this is like our web. Okay, so we can have something like web. Okay, so this is like the internet. Okay, I just don't mind my drawing because I literally try too much. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, so in mostly what whenever there is a client, right, it sends a request to internet, and like let's say you're browsing something. So basically from your computer you go and you type www.youtube.com, so that YouTube page will appear. So we all know how internet works, right? So we send a request and we get a response in back, right? Now before coming to coming to the load balancer thing, you might have heard about things like proxy. Okay, so basically what proxy is something like uh, which sits between the internet and your computer. Okay, so let me just draw a box or something. So let me just call this a proxy. Okay, now what happens is uh, now what happens, whatever request you are making is going to proxy. Okay, it won't go directly to internet, and from proxy it will go to the internet. Okay, now after that our like whatever, if you are trying to search for youtube.com, so जो भी YouTube के servers होंगे, right, these servers will actually give the proper web page as a response. Okay, so that's how it happens. So okay, coming back to proxy. Okay, so now look, this is this what proxy does. Proxy is just like a third guy sitting between you and the internet, so that you don't directly make calls to internet. It's kind of, it goes through proxy. Okay, now uh, in the examples which I'm gonna give you is like sometimes when you are uh, in your school or something, uh, you might try to go to a website. Okay, but it will come as like access or something denied, or it's not accessible. Okay, so that is due to a proxy. So basically proxy will filter out those kind of websites. Okay, now we can think of something in the back as well. So we can think of a proxy here as well. Okay, so just imagine that these are our servers. Okay, and from here, okay, basically we don't directly serve to the internet, we serve to the proxy first. Okay, now let's say we have more servers. Okay, 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 they all will first, go through proxy. Okay, now before concluding the example, just think about, so basically proxy is something, there is one example ki it might filters out websites and all. Even in your company laptop, you try going to a website, sometimes it might throw uh, showing it's unaccessible. So those are all managed, or you can say it is due to proxy somewhere. Okay, sometimes you are trying to download a file or something, it might not be able to download that. Okay, so this all happens because of proxy. Now in the same way, okay, if you could remember or try to relate this diagram to how does a load balancer looks. So proxy and load balancer is something like that, right? So if I just make a load balancer also, what does a load balancer will do? Load balancer will also try to take the request, and it will be like connected to all the servers. Okay, so basically load balancer will distribute the load on different servers. Okay, and the from the diagram you can see like we can have something like proxy to develop these things, because even proxy is sitting between internet and servers. Okay, so whatever request which comes to server, it first goes through proxy, and then proxy is kind of directing it to servers. Okay, now in a similar way, even a load balancer does the same thing. You can say that load balancer is kind of even like a super boss. It does the proxies work also, like it can do, if we can implement something like that. So it can do a proxy work also. There could be caching as well in load balancers. Like, I'm just telling you scenarios. Okay, so that is how a load balance example is. So how you can relate it to proxy to load balancer. Okay, so I am just trying to think of another example. So like this website thing is definitely there. Also, like, okay, let me move on to a different thing. Okay, now the next example is related to CDN. Okay, so CDN is something like content delivery network. Okay, so okay, so what happens, like if I draw a map or something, if I try, so let's say this is some part of the world, this is also some part of the world. Okay, so basically what happens ki any app, if you're using Netflix, right? So Netflix is usable even in India, as well as it can be used anywhere else in the world, like UK, US, or anywhere. Okay, so that's where CDN comes into. So basically they have a Netflix will have a origin server, right? So this is like their main server. You can imagine something like that, and there will be other servers sitting. You can call these servers as edge servers, or like name is not important. So edge servers, which will be sitting in different regions of different uh, continents, in different states, like it can depend on how geographically you want to set these servers up. So let's okay, before doing the edge server thing, let's go. Okay, let's say like I'm in India, okay, and I'm trying to, I'm trying to, and this is like somewhere in UK, this origin server. Okay, there is no concept of content delivery network right now. So I try accessing Netflix, and it goes directly to a very far server from me. Okay, here the latency will be super high. Okay, so that's why we want to achieve something like other servers which can personally serve a region. Okay, now the example is you might have played a game, BGMI, right? Okay, now just look at this thing. If you guys have played this BGMI, you know that um, there is some Indonesia version, right? Then there is in for BGMI is actually for Indian version, right? But if you see, the whole app is same only. Indonesia also, the whole app is same. Only the app name is PUBG M or something, right? Even like there is a global version, right? And if you have really played this game, right? You would know that sometimes the India regions updates will come after 2-3 weeks of global version or something. Okay, why does this happen? Because all these edge server have the same code base. Okay, so all these this edge servers have the same code base. Okay, and from that code base only our app is running. Okay, now the thing is, the problem with the CDN is ki it's not actually a problem, but it's like, to if you're trying to update, okay, if you're trying to update your code, you cannot at a time go everywhere. Every edge server will not be updated with the recent codes. So you go region wise, and I think this may be one of the reasons ki, you'll have updates of big apps in a region wise manner. So I just thought about this, and I thought, yeah, this is something to do with CDN as well. Okay, so basically you'll see ki in India region we are getting late, right? We are getting the app updated version later than in most of the region. Okay, so this is one example with the CDN, and the one example with the load balancer. So I thought it might be cool to share. Apart from that, about system design and all, I'll be trying to come up with more videos in future. So I think I'm good for now. So thank you.